And a great afternoon to you. It is Tuesday, the 16th of November, and this is day 7 of our Virago Women Warrior Women series. My name is Dexter Springer. I am attached to the Arima Public Library as a library assistant one, and we are a branch of the Public Libraries Division of NALIS. All right, of course, this month we have our author of the month, Mrs. Michelle Borrell, and we are featuring her latest book that is dropping very soon, entitled Virago Warrior Woman, the Butterfly Edition. All right, we have the big launch coming out on the 21st. That's the media launch at Trinity Mall. And then the book will be fully releasing on the 25th of November. So you would not want to miss any of those days. Those 2 days are Virago days. All right, so we wanted to come down and be a part of it on the 21st. On that day, they will have a few copies on sale. So first come, first serve. Early bird catches the sweetest worm. And well, in this case, book. All right. So we are here this afternoon with another Virago. And for those of you, again, I always like to ensure that who is viewing knows what a Virago is, because as I've been saying, if you missed it the past few days, a lot of people many times will be messaging me, where's Virago? Where's Virago? Either the message or the send a voice note, where's Virago? Virago, the meaning of Virago is a woman of great stature, strength, and courage, just like the one we are viewing on screen right now. So therefore, in the book of Virago, the Butterfly Edition, we have these women that share their experiences and lessons, encouraging all who would read that book to stand in the authenticity and awaken their inner warrior, which gives you the courage to go on. And we are going to hear all about that right now this afternoon. So you can follow Virago_global on Instagram and Facebook to find out more about this awesome project. You will not regret it. All right, when you go there, you will see what is coming for the next 9 days. So 9 days, we have 9 days to go. We're almost in that halfway point, today being day 7. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon's Virago is a pioneer and visionary that allows her faith, passion, and love for those whom she serves to keep her focused on her mission. She is the founder and president of the Just Because Foundation, and she is also responsible for the development, execution, and management of many of JBF's projects, such as Home Away from Home, Paediatric Specialty Unit, Siblings Only Club, Hope Concert, and Kiddi Childhood Cancer Awareness Walk. Right, or the Kiddi Childhood Cancer Awareness Walk. Each week, Aunty Chevaughn interfaces with the childhood cancer patients and their parents, providing hands-on support. She's a recipient of several awards, including the prestigious Anthony N. Sabga Caribbean Award of Excellence in Public and Civic Contributions. Chevaughn maintains her most important role as being a mother to Jabez JB Joseph, who now looks down on her from heaven, and Raven, to whom she has imparted lessons of self-confidence and ambition. Raven will be graduating next year from medical school at Cardiff University in Wales. Chevaughn was the columnist of JBF's talks, in which she spoke about JBF work and family perspectives, as well as the stories of other parents, patients, doctors, and nurses. This sparked her and Nancy Goes to Hospital children's book series. An avid crafter, she started her Butterfly Creations, right? A percussionist at the Reformation Life Center, where she fellowships. Chevaughn has been inspired to learn more and put her trust fully in God, to whom she attributes her success. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, all under the sound of my voice and the view of my face, I present to you none other than Mrs. Chevaughn Joseph. A pleasant good afternoon to you, Chevaughn.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Springer. I don't know if I can call you Dexter, but hi, good afternoon.
You can call me Dexter. Please feel free. Don't hesitate at all. All right.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction.
You're most welcome. It's a pleasure to actually, see, to meet you in this fashion and understand everything that comes behind you, in terms of all these accomplishments and coming from a place of love and everything. I mean, I wear my pink to represent for the JBF this afternoon. All right, because I know pink is usually the color for cancer awareness and stuff like
Let me
that.
correct you. Pink is breast cancer. Our
But
color
breast
is
cancer,
yellow, which is pediatric cancer, but that's okay. You're representing
I
any
get it wrong. Only I get it wrong. Only forgive me.
wrong. Just different.
All right, good. Okay, nice. So, Chevaughn, now when as I just not too long ago we spoke and I told you that I calculate that it's been 14 years since even the birthing of the JBF of the Just Because Foundation. And based on what I have seen or what I read, it would have been 1 year after the passing of Jabez. I would like.
Actually, not
Mhm.
crossing, but it was mere months after he died. He died in March of 2007
Okay.
and launched on what would have been his 6th birthday on August the 2nd, 2007. So it was mere months.
Mere months. All right. So could you briefly take us on that journey in terms of how was it coming right after that, all the way even down to now where the JBF is well established? Give us an idea. Take us on that journey. How it had been for you and your family even up to this point.
Okay. Thanks again for the opportunity. Thank you to Michelle. Let me just say thank you to the sponsors, KFC, Extra Foods, Medical Associates Hospital, Nexus Advertising, Trinity Mall, and GMGT Live. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. JB was diagnosed with a rare form of childhood cancer, alveolar rhabdomyosarcoma, which is cancer of the muscle, very rare form. And his own was in his tongue, which literally at that time, which would have been 16 years ago, it was 1 in 15 million children may get that. So,
Oh.
it was special from then. We
Mhm.
got the opportunity to go to the UK for him to have surgery to remove half of his tongue, the affected area, and replace it with stomach muscle. So they were able to rebuild his tongue. He was able to speak. He was able to eat as normal. And while there, we were introduced to a lot of family services, which included not only us as parents, services for Raven as his sister. She was like around 8 years old at the time.
Mhm.
And that inspired us to come back to Trinidad because we didn't have it. Actually, I should say JB demanded, said, Mommy, I don't want to leave this hospital. I don't want to go back to Trinidad. And I had to promise him that when we came back to Trinidad, we would recreate the services that he got there. He considered the hospital their hospital heaven. So that was my promise to him then, And it was, to be quite honest, the same chemo meds that he used and everything, but the ambience of the hospital was different. He was on a children's ward with only cancer patients, so he was able to move up and down, walk around. They had
Okay.
stuff. So that was hospital heaven for him.
Wow. Okay.
We of course prayed and expected that he would survive, but he didn't. But my promise to him when we were leaving the UK was that I would do something to help families. And we just dove in. And I think replacing that grief using JB with something positive and being able to help other families and create an organization that no parent should have to go through what we went through alone really helped us, get up and get going and channel our energies to getting this done. And it's now 14 years after.
14 years. 14. So is it that this is something that probably would have already been set in motion even before his passing, seeing that you made a promise to him? So is it that even before he passed, you already had made up your mind that this is what you would do, whether he would have made it or not?
Right. To be honest, while we were in the UK, another mummy whose son was also diagnosed with rhabdomyosarcoma, but he was just, I think, a little over a year old. She was from Point Fortin and had to travel from Point Fortin to San Fernando to somewhere else, like a lot of taxis to get to, at the time, St. James for radiotherapy. And one day she messaged me and she said, Chevaughn, I can't do this anymore. It's too much. She was vomiting in the bus, and it was really hard for her. Wow. And in that moment, I decided to open up my home to her so that she would not, because we were living in Diego Martin at the time, so that she would not give up, because giving up during treatment is not a good thing. So the thought of starting something to help families was born then. So when JB passed, that was what we started with, the Home Away from Home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Roshi also passed away. He died like 2 months before JB. So
Oh,
it was kind of in memory as well, and to just really solidify what I had said to JB, let me do this. But the award came a year and something after. But
afterwards.
yeah, it was just for us to be able to help families, because it's such a horrible thing to have a child diagnosed with such a critical illness. And now family members are around, but when the dust settles and everybody go back to their lives, of because everybody has stuff going on in their lives, so it
Mm-hmm.
could get lonely. And we wanted to make sure that we were there for families who were going through these similar journey as we do.
You know, given that you just said that, I was looking at the website that you have, and let me just plug in there for them one time. Visit the website, the just because foundation.com. It's a very simple tag. The justify the just because dot foundation.com. Right. So I was seeing that some of the services you all offer include just what you just described there, in terms of opening up your home and providing transport for
Yes.
those who live in rural areas and to come and things like that. No, I had this question later on, but seeing that you brought it up, I would really want to find out, how has the current situation affected that, given the pandemic and the advice against bringing people into your home, the advice that the change in terms of how you have to travel, you know, how did you, especially with cancer patients, probably might be considered having comorbidities, all
Yes.
right, and severe comorbidities are that. So how did this affect the move of the Just Because Foundation?
Okay, good question. So when we started, we actually rented a facility. When we came
Mm,
back and we formed the Just Because Foundation, we
mm,
rented a 4-bedroom facility. So it wasn't at our home at that time when we started.
mm,
But because of COVID, we had to downsize, and we now have a 2-bedroom facility, but still we only allow one family at a time. So we have a family from Tobago currently there. In extreme
right.
circumstances, if it's just short term, like overnight, couple days, we will have someone else come in.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bus to transport the parents to and from, because as you would know, with cancer and chemotherapy, they will have compromised immune systems.
Yes.
Try to provide the bus. We have our bus that will go back and forth, take them to and from. It
Mm,
doesn't work out in all cases, because if he is going to San Fernando and we have someone who has to go from Mount Hope to, let's say, somewhere in the east,
mm-hmm.
we can't be in two places at the same time. So what we
Right.
try to do is organize for a driver to supplement that part of it. COVID
Mm-hmm.
also has caused us to shut down a lot or suspend a lot of services. We used to be able to do breakfast on the board for the parents, lunches, and activities for the kids, to keep them occupied. But because of COVID, we have to be so careful. No one other than a parent could be on the ward. We
Mm,
limited our ward access. We go to work, we have our office, but we try to limit our access, because we could be potential carriers of that and take it
oh,
on the ward.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we're still there. We are a call away, a WhatsApp away. We try to make sure that we're there for the families in whatever way we can, in spite of
Mm-hmm.
the
But
situation.
does it hurt not to be able to do on the full capacity of what you're really set out to do? Does it hurt? Does it, you
You
know?
you know what hurts? Because we have had parents who would have received the full range of services. And now
Mm-hmm.
you have the current patients who would be like, we heard what y'all used to do. We wish y'all could do that.
Yeah.
And we know that the children are just, they can't have the magic shows and the fun stuff that we would normally do. So it does hurt, because our mission is to make this journey a little easier for them.
Yes, yes,
Hands
yes.
are basically tied, but we try our best. My assistants, Rachel and Felicia, organized a virtual craft session the other day, which it was kind of like a pilot session, which went really well, for Diwali, where the kids were painting theirs, but we did it virtually. So, we're looking at ways to still bring back that fun aspect to the award without breaking rules.
Okay, that reminds me of the movie Patch Adams, where he brought that kind of fun for the different patients on the ward and things like that. So I guess you all actually bring it. Was it difficult to make um to recreate Hospital Heaven down here? Was it difficult? Did you try to or?
It's I think God guided our steps where that was concerned, because one day, while helping a parent find her way around a new diagnosed family, I stumbled onto a ward which was unused. It was boarded up.
Mm-hmm.
It was by mistake, but I think divinely orchestrated. So,
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, I shouldn't say this, but I broke into the ward, and Noel and I walked on, and I saw the vision of Hospital Heaven, which is
Nice.
a ward for children with cancer, really, because at that time, children were on the general wards, which meant cancer patients had to be in isolation, so they couldn't come out and do stuff. And so I think God just guided me to the right people. I don't ever burn bridges. So everyone who knew me in the past, I contacted them to help. There was a story done on me as a mom who had lost her son, and we changed the whole thing to something positive. So people knew of the Just Because Foundation when we approached them to help on the ward.
Mm-hmm,
We
mm-hmm.
also had like video clips of parents saying, yes, a ward will be good because right now my child can't come out. And if we have a ward for cancer patients, then all the patients would be able to intermingle with each other and stuff. So
Right.
it was a huge task, and we started off with no money. But I want to thank the NCRHA, the board then, who said yes to us. We could convert this unused ward to turn it into ABF specialty unit, and all the sponsors. And we had people communities coming out to help us paint, and different organizations who really came together. So it started off as our project, but it turned
Right.
into a community togetherness that really pulled it off. And I think in 4 months, so just November the 13th, which was Sunday, we celebrated 13 years of the JBFSU.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So congratulations on that. You know
Thank
what? I was about to ask, but you just answered that, you all have a tremendous amount of support
Yeah.
in terms of holding up the foundation. So that's awesome. Of course, let me just take a minute to acknowledge some of the comments that we are getting. I see Laurie is here with us. Hi, Laurie. And Laurie is saying, such an incredibly strong woman. And let me say that those were my exact sentiments. Even before, I had the chance to speak with you now. I saw you and I said, all I see in Chevaughn Joseph is strength and grace. So I agree with Laurie 100%. And we have Janisha Jagmohan saying, so kind of you to help others. We need more of Chevaughn in this world. I agree wholeheartedly. Nikisha, I guess is not a relative of Janisha, is saying, such an inspirational and strong being. I think the code word for you right now, Chevaughn, is strong.
Thank
Right?
you so much.
And then, well, Chevaughn Thompson is just saying hi to you. And then we have Renisha. So we have the whole Jagmohan team inside saying you're an absolute inspiration. All right. So Janisha, Nikisha, and Renisha beginning up same speed. Nice, good.
Thank you,
Definitely.
girls.
All right. So I wanna ask you a really deep question now, and then we'll cross over into your experience with Virago. Chevaughn, tell us, because I have friends who would have gone through something like you, having lost a family member, um, whether it be to cancer or some sort of illness, and they would have been praying for the family member's survival. But the family member still passed on. What does one do when they have been praying and the prayers were not answered in the way they wanted or expected? What is your response to God? What is the effect on your faith when you're praying and expecting that your son would be healed, or your daughter, your wife, whoever will be healed, and yet still you have to put them away or bury them or say goodbye to them. How would you tell somebody to handle that?
Okay. I have always had an amazing relationship with God. I
Nice.
from I think I would say from the age of 17, as many years ago.
Okay.
And I can give you an example based on my relationship or Noel's reaction, which is JB's dad, and my reaction. And it's not that I didn't hope and pray and wish and want and beg God to save JB's life.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, there are two things. I knew that God could save JB. I
Mhm.
believe that. I believe he could have fully saved him here on earth and he would have been a 20-year-old boy today.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
Noel felt the same thing too. But for me, I just knew at a stage, at coming down to the end of his illness, that it was God's will. Like no matter how much I prayed, no matter what I did, no matter how I cried out,
Mhm.
God's decision is final. And
All right.
that is how I crossed over. For
Wow.
Noel, it was different because he had visions of JB being a 14-year-old using the very tongue that was affected to
Yeah.
testify, to give his testimony. And I believed it with him, but I guess men and women handle things differently. So for me, his death was a good thing because
Okay.
he started to suffer.
Okay.
And the Thursday before he died on a Saturday. I said to God, because I saw JB, I saw him, and he said, Mom, I'm so tired. And our eyes locked. And I knew then that I felt I was being selfish, begging God to keep him. Because if God
Mhm.
had another plan, then who am I to question
Wow.
God? And I said, God, if you are going to take JB, go ahead. I'll handle it. I'll handle his death. Just please don't let him suffer anymore. He didn't do anything to deserve this. And then
Wow.
they always say the sins of the parents fall on the children. So I started to say, if that's what it is, take him, because there was nothing more I could physically do to help my son.
Wow.
He was in a lot of pain. And JB died this Saturday morning. Now we were at home with him. I basically saw him take his last breath. Noel came in and was trying to give him CPR. And in that moment, I said, God, I changed my mind. Don't take him. I'm not ready yet.
Mm, 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 mm,
And
mm.
I had never heard the voice of God before, in spite of the fact that we had a real good relationship. But I heard, and I'm telling you this with all honesty, I heard your prayer has been answered. He's no longer in pain. And the peace that I felt, Dexter, is there are no words for me to explain that.
I understand. I understand.
So
Yeah.
that's my explanation to how do you
Wow.
let go and how do you continue trusting and loving and believing in God. It depends on your relationship and knowing without a shadow of a doubt that, yeah, God could have saved him, but it's his will, not mine. And then look at what happened because he took JB. When you look at the bigger picture, if JB had survived, I'm pretty sure we would have helped families, but not to the extent that we are helping now.
Wow. People, if you're listening or you're watching, whether you have experienced it or you have not experienced it, if you forget everything else from this interview today, take what you just heard and hold it in case you might need to use it. Remembering that God knows best. And the fact that He speaks. She had never heard the voice of God before, and He spoke to her and said, your prayer has been answered. He is no longer in pain. And then Chevaughn, you said something very, very salient, the peace that you felt.
Yeah.
And I know I could tell you the peace. When you feel that peace, I mean, anything could happen after that.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything could
He
happen
thought I
after
was
that.
going crazy because they said Siobhan's son died and she's not derailing, she's not going crazy.
Mm,
But
mm.
they didn't understand that it was God's peace that had filled me that day that made me just understand. And I have such a a greater relationship with him now, having gone through that
That
process.
is awesome. Not everybody is able to say this. I mean, in the reality is we know people who would go bitter
Yeah,
after something like that. I personally know people who don't want anything to do with God, so to speak,
yeah.
anymore. Due to that. But we want to thank you so much for that. That was deep. I wish we had some music going with what you said just now, so it would get into the emotions of the people. Auntie Penny is here, and she's saying such courage and strength. God is our boss. All right, and
It's real.
once again, you answered one of my questions. If you ever thought of what it would have been like, you know, let's say JB didn't pass, what do you think it would have been like if it still would have formed the foundation, if it would have been different. I was about to ask that. You
Well,
wanna
to be honest, yeah, I could still answer because before I don't even think we had JBs yet. Noel and I were visiting children who had HIV/AIDS, and I fell in love with a little boy. His nickname was Chubby, and we kept going to look for him and stuff. And Noel was like, Chevaughn, if anything happens to him, you won't be able to handle it because he was like, and I think at that point I felt that I wanted to work with sick children.
okay.
So I took his advice and I kind of, because I knew I was getting very attached, but I believe if he was here, if he had survived, then that he would have gone through the whole hospital system and going away, and there were families who needed help then. So I think we would have helped, but it may not have been on the scale. But
Mhm.
working with children and sick children was always something that I felt drawn to. I would go to the Princess Elizabeth home and visit and sing Christmas carols at this time and stuff. So I think it was there always. And
Okay. So it
you
was
know,
like I feel like it was a call on your life. So
yeah,
like was that
I think
call?
so. I think
All
so.
right.
And I
Awesome.
do say to God sometimes you could have find another way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this was the way. So
But the depth and the distance and everything that goes with it, the deepness of it may not have been the same. As I
yeah,
said earlier, it may not have been the same. You know.
yeah.
So Chevaughn, let's talk about your contribution now to Virago quickly.
Okay.
What was it like for you to write your chapter of this book? Because I know, and everybody's saying it, you're strong, Chevaughn, you're strong, the strength. And this story is listen, if I were a director, is a movie we're looking to make with this thing. So
Okay.
so what
For that.
yes, seriously, and as I say to people, I don't mama guy, that's always top my heart.
Okay.
What was it like to pour in to this chapter, of Virago, to pour yourself into this book like this, with giving your whole, the whole history behind it, everything from JB's past and before, everything that took place within the last 15 to 16 years. How was it writing this chapter of the book for you?
Okay. So it was an honor when I was asked. I said yes for the opportunity, and then I saw all the other writers, and I felt intimidated. Um,
Why?
for the I just did. For the last 13 years or 14 years, I have written about JB. I've written about JB's story on Facebook. I had done the articles, but this opportunity was different because I had yet another story that was not really told, and that was the fact that Noel and I had gone through a divorce. So
Okay.
yeah, this was me coming out, so to speak, because a lot of people, and I mean a lot, because we worked together so well and we maintained our friendship. um I think, well, people don't really know who my close circle of friends would know, my pastor and the people at church would know, but
Mm-hmm.
work environment, a lot of people, I will say 99.9% of the people see us as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I think writing that, now I had written part of it before to post on Facebook when my divorce came through earlier this year. And I didn't have, I thought if I put it out there, even though the divorce was final, it would make it too real.
Ooh.
And I didn't. And when I got the opportunity to write the chapter, I felt if I don't do it now, then it means that I'm being fraudulent. I'm being dishonest. You know. So
Wow. You know why I'm blown away? Because you just keep answering questions that I have without me even asking. You know, so I wouldn't even ask it. You just
don't
reveal.
ask me any book.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you.
I'm not answering any more questions.
So get the book. Don't ask no more questions. Get the book. All right. Well, I have to ask at least. Let me just ask at least one more question. I like to do Michelle this. One last question.
Okay.
Let's see. Right. In terms of the book, your contribution to the book, seeing that it was your entire family involved. Did any did either Raven or your husband wanted to, yeah, hey, put in this, contribute this, tell them I want you that, you know, did they have any like input in terms of asking for something to put in there, especially Raven seeing that she herself is a young Virago? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. I celebrate every day. Um, Noel got to read it before I submitted it because, of course, the dynamics of our situation. Get the book and you will understand.
Yes.
And I let Raven read it after it was submitted, and she was like, "Mom, I am so proud of you."
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you know, she is absolutely the most important person in my life. So I was
Yes.
happy when she said that because, as you're right, it will impact her as well. It's
Yeah.
about her close knit family. When I told her, I said, I feel so badly that you're from a broken home, and she said, No, mommy, I'm not from a broken home. You all gave me a fantastic home. I am now
Wow.
an adult, you know. So I felt good knowing that she was not scarred by the situation, but she was able to help me find strength. Get it?
Wow. People, there is no better way to finish that. Get the book. You don't want to listen. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Prepare your pocket to buy the Butterfly Edition Virago Warrior Woman. You will not regret it. Also, buy a pack of napkins. Buy a pack of napkins, or better yet, get some paper towels. All right, because your eyes will not stay dry going through this book. I only meet 7 of these ladies so far. And I already know that Price Mart will have to, I had to put in an investment for all the paper towels I could get, because trust me, when I get my copy, it will not be a dry afternoon. Chevaughn, we want to thank you so much. Of course, you know, I want to acknowledge some more comments. Sasha John Charles is saying, hi, Sasha. Sasha, hi. Glad to have you this afternoon. All right. Michelle, of course, was saying God's Holy Spirit is a gentleman, because we heard about your experience with God, your relationship. And people, let me stick in a plug here. Your relationship with God is paramount. It could take you through any season.
Everything.
Just ask Chevaughn. Just ask Chevaughn.
Everything.
Read the book. Get the book. Get the book. Ladies and gentlemen, this is bringing us to the end of this interview. Chevaughn, we want to thank you so much for your for giving to us, for your graceful smile, for your strength. Your strength is amazing. I know that your strength is amazing. All
Thank
right.
you so much. It's from God, straight
Yes,
from God.
yes, definitely, definitely. You always have to give glory to whom glory is due, and all is due to God. So, people, get ready to come down on the 21st to Trinity Mall, 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. You do not want to miss it. It is going to be the launch of Virago Warrior Woman, the Butterfly Edition. The color is purple. So if you have something purple, come with your purple. If you want to buy one of the few copies of the books that will be there, bring purple notes. Plenty of them. All right? Okay, so we're looking forward to that. Also, this book is not limited to Trinidad. But firstly, let me say it will be releasing on the 25th. So it's launching on the 21st with the media launch at Trinity Mall. And then it will be releasing for sale on the 25th of November. But it does not stop there. This book will also be launching on the 9th of December in New York. And you will hear more about that. On the 9th of December in New York, and also on the 14th of December in Miami. Right? And one more, you think it finished there, it turned on. There is the Barbados edition that is called the Phoenix edition that is soon to be dropped as well. So people, this thing is worldwide. That is why it is called Virago Global. Go check them out on Instagram and Facebook, Virago_Global. You will not regret it at all. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so grateful for you being here. I am super grateful. Nalis is grateful. We thank you so much, Chevaughn, and we want to thank Michelle for this awesome opportunity that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, I see, my good friend here, Adrian Clement, just stepped in. He says, when you know your source, you find your strength. All right, and also, Chevaughn Sasha is saying to you, your depth is amazing. Listen, if we stay here whole evening, the rest of the afternoon will be comments to Chevaughn about your strength and your inspiration. People want to meet you, Chevaughn. People are going to want to meet you. I hope you're the only talk first.
Thanks again to the sponsors and Michelle and Chevaughn. Nalis, thank you so much, Dexter. It was a pleasure.
Yes, same here, same here. A total pleasure. I am so grateful to meet you, Chevaughn. And well, of course, from my wife as well. She's happy to see you as well.
Yes.
People, this brings us to the end. Thank you so much. Join us tomorrow. Please go at same time, same place where we meet another Virago woman. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Take good care. Stay safe.
God bless. As we have a couple minutes, let me just say thanks again to the sponsors, KFC, Extra Foods, Medical Associates Hospital, Nexus Advertising, Trinity Mall, GMGT Live. Thank you so much for making this possible. And to all the other Virago women, love you. God bless. Be safe.
Yes. Looking forward to meeting all of them. I have the opportunity to meet each and every Virago woman for this next week coming here. It's 15. Today is day 7. So I'm looking forward to the rest of it. I am certain. I told Michelle Chevaughn I will not be the same man by the end of this series because each lady is just pouring so much out and a lot of lives are being changed. I'll continue to say that. A lot of lives are being changed. And on the 21st, come with your favorite quote. There is somebody that said something that changed your life. Come with your favorite quote on the 21st. And write it down, bring it, tell us what it is and how it changed your life, how it changed your mindset, because mindsets and lives are being changed within this series. And just imagine what will happen when you get the butterfly edition for yourself. All right? And it's a beautiful piece of artwork as well. All right, yes. So as soon as my technical team say the word, we are out of here. We're just waiting for life to end.
Maybe we're getting some more minutes, Dexter.
Yeah, we're getting some more minutes. So let me see how much comments we have. We have Chevaughn Thompson saying such an inspiration. All right, such an inspiration. Yes, I'm getting some private messages, saying great job, Chevaughn, great job. All right, yeah.
We got to shout out my JBF team because I could not have done it without them.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, Noel, Rachel, Renisha.
All right, so it's a whole lot of R's.
Yes, and Ray Fun. God gave me a whole set of R's.
A whole lot of R's. All right, beautiful. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to ask you, but I think you cover everything,
Let me give you my quote then.
Yes.
A closed door is not a bad thing. It means that God has a bigger, better door for you up ahead.
Wow.
That's mine.
That's yours. That's Chevaughn. I have to get copyright permission and everything to use that.
Yes.
A closed door is not a bad thing.
It means God has a bigger, better door up ahead.
I wish everybody could see it like that. Many times you see a closed door and you just turn around and walk away, not knowing that you could walk to another door that God prepared.
It's better.
We will have to have an evening with Chevaughn, an evening with Chevaughn Joseph, and probably me, the whole family is Raven studying.
She's abroad, yeah.
Well, she is abroad.
Wales, yeah.
All right. We'll have to have an evening where we meet you, and because I'm sure there are elements in the story that you probably couldn't even go into. Yeah. Is it difficult to speak about it, even after 15 years? Is it ever difficult?
At times it is. I won't lie. At times it is very difficult. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But
I find the strength in what I do and the people who surround me, and of course in God.
and you're so calm with it. Actually, there's grace. That's a
I didn't have any vodka shots. Just saying.
yeah. Thank God for that because all right, good. So my technical team, see we could officially close now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you again. Join us tomorrow. Please go at same time, same place, right here. We're gonna meet another Virago woman, and we're gonna hear more as we continue to progress towards the launch day of Virago Women, the Butterfly Edition. Thank you so much for joining us. See you tomorrow. Please God, stay safe. Take good care.